Hey guys, this is Bomb speaking here. I'm a Starcraft II coach, and today I'm going to teach you a simple technique to never get supply blocked. Alright guys, so I'm going to teach you today this simple technique that I teach my students on how to not get supply block. Usually everyone has no problem with the early game, but once they get into like the mid game and the late game, they start getting a lot of supply blocked. And I'm gonna give you a technique here today that, man, is gonna help you so much. So anyways, I'm just gonna do a standard opening that people do on ladder nowadays, yeah. And then I'll get into that technique soon here, so you can understand what I mean with that. So I'm doing the gas first right there. I'm gonna do my 16 barracks, yes. Gas finishes, I'm pulling my SCVs to the gas. Alright. So I think one of the elements that is so important is not getting supply blocked, and in case one day usually when you do, what I usually do is whenever I get supply blocked, I immediately just use my orbital to throw that supply from the air immediately, you know. So yeah. Okay, so we're just doing the build here. So I know that you as a player, up to this moment here, nobody gets supply block, right? Well, sometimes, right? Sometimes you can forget and then you get supply blocked, but anyways. So let's just keep reducing. I make my Reaper, I make my Orbital, I'm gonna expand now. And then we're about to get to the point about not getting supply blocked. So with this build we always do now factory. Send the mill down. It's just a random build, just for showing purposes, okay? Now reactor right there. I'm gonna get my second supply. Okay. And now I will get my second gas. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. And then I'm gonna give you two simple rules that you're gonna apply, and that's gonna pretty much skyrocket your ability to not get supply blocked again. It's gonna help you a lot, that I can guarantee. Okay, so 2 SCVs to the gas, okay. Now factory is finished, I'm gonna make a starport here. I'm gonna put like a tech lab on my factory, just go siege tanks. Okay. Alright, so up to here, simple, no problem. Okay, so here comes the point here. With every build you do here is whenever your expansion orbital is about to finish, we're about to get there. Here's how it goes. Okay, gonna make a siege tank. You can see that my supply is fine up to now. So here it goes. I'm gonna pause the game and explain to you this. So here's how the technique works. You're gonna start to use this simple reference point here that is gonna help you a lot, which is whenever the orbital from your expansion finishes, you're gonna start making one supply after the other. And you might be, oh, Bombs, but what do you mean with that? What I mean is exactly that. It's like you're gonna make like a supply, yeah, whenever the orbital finishes, and you're gonna stick with that. Just stick with that. See, like I'm making troops constantly. So what does that mean is, if I am on like a 1 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, and 2 orbitals producing, if I keep making one supply after the other, I'm not gonna get supply blocked. Also, I'm gonna be in a good ratio, you know, in a good ratio, not like because you'd never want to be like a, say like a 50 supply slash 100, you know, like you're spending just 50 supply, but you have like 100 capacity. That's bad because you spent so much more money. You want to have like a good ratio of like a 15, maybe 10 supply above of your actual supply, yeah? So this is the first rule. You're gonna start to apply that to whenever the orbital from your expansion finishes, you start making one supply after the other. So that, keep in mind that that is for the whenever you are on remember, when you are on 111 and 2 orbitals, right? Yeah, 111 means 1 barrack, 1 factory, 1 starport, and 2 orbitals. If I keep doing that, just one supply after the other, you will be fine, you'll never get supply blocked, okay? Now let's proceed. Another supply, see? I'm just following that rule. One supply after the other, and you can see my supply is pretty good, pretty good. And now we're getting to another point here that is very important. I'm making 2 barracks, okay. I'm gonna get like 2 more gases here. So now I just put 2 more barracks down, and that's fine, but whenever I put those barracks down, we're not starting to consume more supply, right? Are we? We're not, right? First, those barracks gotta finish, then we're gonna put like a tech lab or reactor in it, and then we're gonna start to produce on them. That's the moment you will increase your supply consumption. And that's when I'm gonna give you the second technique here to improve your macro. So just make a Raven there. Okay. Guess I'm gonna make engineering bay here. So see, I kept making just one supply after the other, as you can see. Man, it's that simple. It's deceptive simple. Okay. Now I'm just landed on on that tech lab, and now I'm gonna start producing marines. So here's how the second technique works for not getting supply blocked. So when you are on 111 and 2 orbitals producing, you want to stick with one supply after the other, right? I guess that makes you. I know my English is broken, but I know you understand what I mean with that. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying this properly, but you get the idea. And then after, you will add more barracks, right? That means you're gonna have more production. That's when it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like, for example, 3-1-1-1, right? Because you're gonna have like 3 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, and 2 orbitals. That moment, then you increase to 2 supply. So it's gonna go like this. When you are on 111, in 2 orbitals producing, you make 1 supply after the other after your orbital expansions finishes, and you never get supply blocked. And whenever you start to produce from 3-1-1, that is when you finish the second and the third barracks, and you start producing from all of that, then you increase that to 2 supply after the other. Because that way, you will be able to keep with the supply production. Because the moment the second and the third barrack starts to produce, you gotta switch from 1 supply after the other to 2 supply after the other. That way you can keep up with it. And that's this technique, guys. That's pretty much it for the day. So apply that technique and let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to learn more, you can book coaching sessions with me through the link below. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.